Hi, and welcome to DisneyCharm. We are excited to start this new channel about planning for Disney. A little background information. I am a mother of two boys, age 15 and 8. My husband and I have been married going on 15 years. We have been going to Disney World since 2006, and we have gone almost every single year, a couple of times twice. Any questions, ask below. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thanks. So let's go to Disney. Time of year is important for several reasons that you choose to go to Disney. I personally like the fall or earlier in the year because of the cool weather. I've never been in the summer. I don't know that I could survive the summer because I do not like the heat. My family does not like the heat. We prefer cooler months. Being from North Carolina, we prefer the cooler months. But what time of year you go completely and totally depends on you and your family and your needs. So you really need to think about what it will do to your family to take time away from your lives and go to Disney. I recommend going for at least 10 days if you can. Just because Disney's huge. Let's face it, Disney's huge. There's no way you can see it all in just 4 or 5 days. If you're going to do that, I always recommend making sure that you research. Know what your family likes, what your family doesn't like. Because if you go down there with the idea that we're going down here, we're gonna do all this, you're not gonna get it all done in one 4-day, 5-day trip. You're just not, and then you'll be disappointed. So always really think about what time constraints do to you, whether taking your kids out of school is an option, how much time you're allotted off of work. All of that needs to be first and foremost when you're planning a Disney trip, because if you can't take the time off work, sitting down to try to plan one is very difficult. If your husband can't take time off work, if your children have EOGs or the final exams for classes and things like that, that's another factor that you will need to factor in to what time of year you go to Disney. Just like taking them out of school. Some people are adamant, no, your kid cannot miss a day of school. They, perfect attendance. And, if that's a goal for your family, keep that in mind. If you have a child who says, no, I want perfect attendance all year, take that into consideration. Planning a Disney trip is not something to take lightly. It takes research. It takes time. It takes energy. I always start out with some form of a planner. I have notes and planning. It takes hours and days to plan. So the length of your stay is a factor on how much time you get off work, how much money you have to spend on a Disney trip. I mean, you really have to look at what you're willing to spend on a trip. Are you willing to spend $10,000 on a trip? Are you only willing to spend $2,000 on a trip? What is your budget for the length of stay? Is it better to stay longer? Will your budget, it's all on you personally. Where to stay is also on you. A lot of people love staying off property. I, however, do not. I prefer to stay on property because they do all my transportation. A lot of people don't like Disney transportation, and that's perfectly fine. I prefer Disney transportation because I'm a nervous driver. I get nervous in I live in the country. I'm used to country driving. So when we get into lots of traffic, I get anxious. So I prefer to not drive at Disney if at all possible. Any way I can get out of actually driving once we get on vacation, I would love it. And I know a lot of off-property sites have shuttle buses and things like that, and it can save you money, but it can also cost you a lot of time in the parks and things like that. So you have to decide on or off property which is better for my family. I like staying on Disney property because it is so much easier to get back to your resort in the middle of the day for a long nap. I've taken large groups of people with me. At one time I took there was 9 of us that went. We had one very young child who needed a nap in the middle of the day, and it was so much better to be able to hop on a bus, hop on the monorail, jump back to our resort, let the youngest go take a nap while the older one spends some time in the pool to cool off after a long morning in the park, have a small snack, and then be able to go back to the park at the cooler time in the afternoon, or go back to the park just in time for a dinner reservation and then spend the night in the park later than you normally would. How do I book Disney? A lot of people, the first thing they think is, I need to call a travel agent. That's not necessarily true. Disney World has a travel agency. You can book Disney online. You do not have to go through a travel agent. Yes, a travel agent is free. It doesn't cost you any more. And some can save you money, and some don't save you as much money as you could yourself if you do the research. I've talked to a travel agent, and I've booked through Disney. I prefer booking through Disney because I can get just the exact same discounts as a travel agent. Not to discredit any travel agents, because when I do cruising, I always go through a travel agent. I have a great travel agent who I adore. She's wonderful. But I still choose to book my Disney trips through Disney because I have the control. I have a relative that went with us just this past April. She booked through a travel agent. She could not make any changes to anything that she wanted to do. I received an upgrade. We were going at the same time. Our stuff was connected, but because she booked through a travel agent, she did not receive the upgrade that I received. And to get moved to the resort that we got moved to was very hard to do. Whereas if she would have booked through Disney like I did, and because we were connected, they would have probably moved her at the same time I did. So there's good things for travel agents and bad things for travel agents. Sometimes travel agents do get the inside scoop on a deal. Sometimes you can get that inside scoop just by doing a little bit of research. There's also ways to save money on your trip. You can get gift cards from Sam's Club. I typically get a gift card. It's $50. I get $47.98 for it from Sam's Club. Yes, I have a Sam's Club membership. I own my own business. I own a child care facility. So I have a business account with Sam's Club. I already pay for that every year through my business, but I use my personal to go and get that. If you have a friend, if you have a relative who has a Sam's Club card, hey, I'll give you $47.98 if you'll pick me up a $50 gift card. I know that doesn't sound like a lot. $2.02 on every 50 doesn't sound like a lot. But when you're talking $5, $6, $7, sometimes $10,000 for a Disney vacation, depending on where you stay, depending on how long you stay, that can be a substantial savings. Target also has deals where you get 5% off gift cards if you have a red card. It doesn't actually have to be a credit card. It can actually be a debit card that you put money on through Target, and you can get the same discount as you would if you had the credit card. So you're not paying interest rates, you're not paying all that, you're not paying an annual fee. It's not costing you more money just to get that discount. You are truly getting that discount. Also, use your credit card. If you have a credit card, use it to pay on your Disney account. Most credit cards now offer cash back. Most offer points to get discounts on this or that or the other. We have one, great cash back. We always use the cash back to help pay for Disney. We use it to pay for stuff at Disney. Then we use the cash back to book another trip. Also, book a year out. You can actually book a resort room 499 days out. 499 days is a long time. You can, if you've got $200 and you can drop it on a reservation, drop it on a reservation. That's all it takes to reserve your spot. It's $200. And a lot of people say, well, $200 is a lot of money. Think about what you get at Christmas. Think about the money you spend throughout the year on things you don't need on a regular basis. Do you really need that Starbucks $7 coffee every morning? Take that and make your coffee at home. Take that $7. In no time, you'll have $200. Put it in a jar. Add up your pennies, your quarters, whatever you can do to get that extra buck. Sell your clothes to a consignment shop. Things that you're not using daily, get rid of. You can do it. Anybody can do it. Once you get that $200, go get you get you 4 gift cards for $47.98 each. You don't have $200 in it. I mean, you do the math, it's not that much. So then you drop that $200 on your reservation 499 days out. No, that's not your tickets. That's not all that. But 499 days out reserves your room on a Disney resort. $200. You're good. Take and make payments every week. Go get you a $50 gift card. Go drop $50 on it, $20 on it, whatever you have extra. Drop that money on that account, on the Disney website. Before you know it, you're not going to owe anything on it. You can add your tickets later. Call Disney, talk to Disney. Sometimes they have discounts available to you that are not available on the website. It's great. I love the website. Download the app. The app is amazing. You will have to use the app for everything anyway. Go ahead and download it. Even if you're not planning a Disney trip yet, download it anyway, just because you'll get information that you wouldn't normally have. I always use the app to find out what's new, what's going on. I also follow a lot of vloggers that live in Florida and go to the parks on a daily basis. Follow those vloggers. Watch what they're doing because they are there daily. They know what's going on. Planning is your most important thing. Planning day to day, knowing what you're going to do. And yes, it's vacation. You want to be spontaneous. And you can be spontaneous while you're there. But you still need to have some sort of a plan. You don't just go to the beach and wake up every morning and say, well, today we're going down to the beach. No, typically if you go to the beach on a Friday, well, tomorrow we're going to go play putt-putt, and we're going to go down to the boardwalk, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And then Sunday, we're going to spend the day on the beach. You kind of have a plan of what you want to do every day. So going on vacation can still be spontaneous at Disney. Many times my husband and I have not made any dining reservations, and we get there, and we're in the park, and we're hungry. You look on the app, and boom, there's a reservation. So use that app. Use the app for everything from booking the room to asking help through the app. They have a mom's panel on the website. There's a lot of things you can do with the app. App's great. Also, remember, there's many ways to save money on your trips. Just look for every discount that is available. I mean, really look for discounts. I know at one time Sam's was offering discounts on annual passes, and it might be cheaper for you to get an annual pass, even for one trip, than it would be for you to buy a 10-day ticket through Sam's Club. So always look for those deals. Always look and see, hey, what can I do to be able to afford to take my family to go to Disney? Like I said, I've taken as many as 9 people to Disney World with me and planned a fabulous vacation, and it was wonderful. We had many children with us, many adults. It was a wonderful trip. It was amazing. Just remember, it's a lot of walking, and you will be tired at the end of the day, but it's a good tired because you're away from the day-to-day hustle and bustle, and you're having fun. You're riding rides, you're seeing characters. Speaking of characters, if you have small children, I suggest not shocking them when you meet characters. Watch some YouTube videos of small children meeting characters. The reason I say that is I took my youngest before he turned 3. He was 2, and it was October. He turned 3 in January, so he wasn't a very young 2. But before I took him, my biggest fear was that he would be afraid of characters. I love characters. Characters are like the most fabulous thing in the world to me. I love characters. I love interacting with characters. I think it's great how the cast members can really put their spin on everything and give you the best experience in the world, just meeting your favorite character. I'm a big Belle fan. I love Mickey. I love Pooh. So those characters have always been like, if I see them, I gotta go meet them because I love them. But I did not want my 2-year-old to be flabbergasted when he walked up to Mickey, and Mickey was bigger than Mom and Dad. Mickey is bigger than life. He's not some little mouse in a TV. He's big. He's big as we are. He's a grown-up like person. He's huge. Children, that can scare some children. So prepare your young children before you go. Have them watch videos of children meeting Mickey Mouse, shaking Mickey Mouse's hand. Have them explain to them, when we go, we're going to be shrunk down to Mickey's size. Mickey's going to be our size. We're going to be Mickey's size. So be prepared to be Mickey's size. so that your child does not scream bloody murder and your only memory of your Disney trip with your child is him screaming and running from Mickey. That would not be fun. If your child does have fear of characters, a lot of kids have gone to Chuck E. Cheese and Chucky comes out, they run screaming. So if you know that's your child, go ahead and prepare for that now. Don't have expectations of your family going and getting all these fabulous pictures, because that's probably not going to happen your first time. It might not happen every time. My oldest, one time we were meeting Baloo and Louie, and he wasn't feeling it. He was about 7 years old, and nope. I let him set it out. I didn't force him over there with him. Why? Because then the picture would have been just of a petrified child meeting Louie and Baloo. And I do love Louie. I think he's just fabulous. So, I didn't want a picture of my child being afraid of a character or not feeling that character. And it's okay. Let your kids know it's okay. Also, another fact, they're not going to like every ride at Disney World. Some are going to hate some of the rides. Know your child. Know if they have fears. Know if they fear the dark. Know if they fear heights. If you've never been to Disney, watch videos of the rides too. Yes, you like to be surprised, but you know your child. If your child is afraid of normal heights, don't take them on Tower of Terror. They're going to cry, scream, bloody murder, and Tower of Terror takes pictures and video. And you don't want that in your video and your pictures, and people going, well, you forced your child on this ride and he's dying. Know your child. Know what they like and what they don't like, so that you can be informed about the rides. Make sure you know ride height requirements. Don't get your child hyped up to ride Rock and Roller Coaster if they're 46 inches tall, because the height requirement is 48 inches tall. Then you get up there and they measure them until you know, and then your child has a meltdown in the middle of Hollywood Studios, and what do we do now? My child's having a total meltdown. There's ways to combat that too, and I've got those tips too. So as we continue to go to Disney, we've got a trip planned in October. We will video and vlog then. Just please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. I will do my very, very best to answer them all the best way I know how. My husband will probably print them all out and I'll have to answer them on here. I'm very nervous, so please bear with me. I'll get better as time goes on. I've never vlogged before, but I'm very excited about doing this, especially for people who don't live in Florida, because all the vloggers seem to live in Florida and go to the parks all the time, but they live in Florida, so they don't book a trip and they don't have to plan months and months in advance because they're there. So I thought this would be a good thing to do for people who do not go every week to Florida, or every week to Disney World, or every day to Disney World. So that's what this channel's about. We may not post a video every day. We may not post a video every week, but we're going to do our best to post as often as we possibly can. Like I said, we have a trip coming up in October. Look for those videos. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to ask questions. Thanks so much. Let's stay charming.